Welcome to another episode of Not Your Average Aunties. I am Key. I'm joined here by my wonderful co-hosts Jay and Joe. And we are here to keep it real, raw, and relatable every week for you. We love to come here and just bring joy, stir the pot, and possibly, give some thought-provoking things, I would say. What do y'all think?
Yeah. I'm here for all of it. Let's do it.
Anyway. Before we kick it off, I gotta ask, how was everyone's week?
Exciting. It was good. It was positive, uplifting.
I can say the same. I got a lot accomplished this week.
Good. So productive. I want to flip this on its head. If you had to have a soundtrack for your week, what song? We're gonna introduce the Sing It Sis segment.
You ain't asking us to sing, right? Because I ain't singing, girl.
Girl, well, just at least say the one line from a song that sums up your week. Mm-hmm. And then we got to see what it is. Hopefully we know what song it is, child. But let's go. Who wants to go?
It's hard out here for a pimp when you're trying to get the money for the rent.
Oh my God. Girl, I ain't mad at you. All right, okay.
That can sum up my week. Even though I got a lot accomplished, that right there is the song that's been playing in my head all week.
All right, okay. Jay, one line.
I did the opposite. I didn't pick a song that I was familiar with. I actually searched for a song that resonated with how I was feeling for the week. So I found a song, found an artist. I'd never heard it before, but I liked the song. So it's going to be in my rotation. But it was a song called Elevated. I don't know if I'm going to pronounce his name incorrectly, but it's Yesha Yahoo. It's called Elevated. And the lyrics is of the song, the lyric that stood out to me was, I got to elevate. I've been praying to God for a better way. I concentrate on my goals and I meditate. So making sacrifices, put time, and I dedicate.
Yes.
I should have rhymed it. He sings it, but I should have rhymed it. I'm gonna have to figure out how to finesse those lyrics. But it resonated with how I'm feeling this week because that's where I've been.
This is a gospel artist.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not a gospel.
You heard of him before, Kira?
I think I have one of his songs on my matter of fact, you're gonna make me feel. I feel like I gotta look up to make sure. What's his name one more time?
It's Yesha Yahoo.
Yesha.
If I'm saying it correct, Yesha. But the song is called Elevated. Mm-hmm. Check it out. The lyrics resonated with me. So that's my song. That's how my week has been.
Okay. For me, mine was a song by Drew Hill.
Okay.
It's called All Alone. And here's the lyrics. I'm gonna stay to myself when there's no one else around me. I'm gonna stay to myself so that no one else can find me. There's more to it, but that's my week.
Okay.
Gotta be alone. Anybody know that song? It's called All Alone.
I know
that one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out though. All right, I like it.
You never heard it?
Yeah, she pulled out the crates.
Yeah, that's from this.
You know what? I shouldn't say I never heard it because you know me and titles of songs and or lyrics. I never know what the title of the song is and or the lyrics.
Yeah,
I'll hear it and I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is, but no, I'll say no.
What's interesting? It's wild how a song can shift your mood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Laughing. And for the audience, sometimes we come on, we be like, coming on, and now we just laughing.
Do we always come on like that?
No, but I'm just,
that's a bad rap now. Shit.
So we can shift your mood, and that's actually a perfect example of a glimmer, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
Right. So we're going to have some chat about glimmers, which are the opposite of triggers. And we're just going to talk about how people don't really recognize those glimmers, but everybody always will recognize the trigger, particularly because the trigger is the new therapist word that, you know, social media made everybody know. You know,
I'm triggered.
People, I'm triggered. You know, it's fine. I mean, it's good to have a name.
There's some validity to it, but I think people, like, they took everything. They took another word was I'm stressed, or you're giving me anxiety. They make it to the point where it becomes there every day. And is it really truly what's happening in the moment for you, or it's just a new word that you find to attach to whatever you're going through at that moment? Just asking.
I agree. You're right. I think it's a great observation. I think to your point, everybody talks about triggers. What sets them off, what pisses them off, what sends them spiraling and stuff like that. But nobody, not enough of us, talk about the glimmers. So anybody have a definition for glimmer? I have one if y'all don't. You do?
Okay. Yeah, but you can go ahead. Maybe they're the same, but go ahead. Give yours off.
So a glimmer it's like those small moments that calm you. They remind you that you are capable. They remind you that you could be still that girl, right? It's the quiet moments in the morning. It's maybe a song hitting you just right. It's feeling cute just because, right? Laughing so hard that you forget and you leave all your worries behind, you know, even if it's just for a moment. Those are glimmers. They're not necessarily like those luxurious vacations. But they're just easy on your nervous system.
Yeah. I can just add on to that, because like you talk about the like you said, they're small micro moments. They're not big milestones, and they can be easily missed, like you said, right? I also have it don't require money, don't require travel, don't require validation, because listen, it's happening in the moment and no one is around possibly but you gotta focus in and grab them when they're there. And yeah, they don't need announcements. It's no chaos, it's no drama, but they're so small at times that they're easily missed.
Yeah. I think that sometimes, and this might be a problem, but I think most of us possibly don't notice the glimmers because we've been in survival mode. We've been addicted to the chaos. We don't want to admit it. Maybe we don't even acknowledge it, but that's what prevents us from even noticing the little things. That's just my take. Joe, what you think?
No, I agree with that. It just all depends, I guess, on the situation, how you're feeling that day. Something could trigger you to be happy, smile, and then there you got your triggers where there's one word that has set that whole day off. It brings you back to a moment in time where it made you very upset. I don't. Lately, I've had more triggers than I've had glimmers, so I will admit that here.
maybe not. Maybe you missed some. Maybe, like, for me, like that first taste of that cup of coffee in the morning. That's a glimmer.
And especially if it's made right.
Yeah, that's a glimmer. But we don't think about it that way. We think about that's our morning cup of coffee and we going about our day, right? So
yeah, you're right.
That sip of that coffee, and it just makes you feel like your shoulders drop, you whatever. That's a glimmer. So let's ask the audience quickly while we're talking about the differences. I know we have more to add to it, but for our viewers, when was the last time you felt genuinely calm, and did you notice it or move right past it? Ask ourselves the same question.
So lately, I've been, and I don't even want to say it's lately, I always have a sense of gratitude for little things. So I could literally be in my shower and just say, thank you, God, for having hot water. You know, when I put real talk, when I put clothes in the laundry, when I walk downstairs to my basement and put my clothes in my laundry in the washing machine, thank you God for having a washing machine, because
Mhm.
there's times when I didn't, and I had to
Mhm.
go outside and go to the laundromat, right? So
Mhm.
there's little things like that. So those, I don't know if those are glimmers, but as opposed to a sense of gratitude for those things. And sometimes it's even in the midst of when things may not be going well.
Yeah.
Right. So I take a moment to do that. I love a good sunset. So that's always going to be a glimmer for me.
Mhm.
Right. I sometimes if I'm up, I'll take a sunrise too. But it's those quiet moments in the morning,
Mhm.
Mhm.
those quiet moments in the evening.
Mhm.
I'm selfish, I take. So for me, yeah, I think I look for that, because we're not promised tomorrow, and I don't want to be walking around angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one other thing I add to that is I recently saw uh, a post about what they deemed as Lego blocks. And it was so profound to me. Let me see if I could paraphrase it. Basically, what it means is that when you are triggered by something, okay,
Mhm.
so a lot of times if we're triggered by something throughout the day, we let that permeate our entire day. We're pissed. We're
Yes.
pissed the entire day. Okay. Everything,
Mhm.
anything, you attacking it a little bit differently. But if you break up your days into like these little Lego blocks that stack on top. So the first part on the bottom is going to be your 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, the next, the 10, the 9 to 12 or whatever, however you want to break it up into the time slots. So if you got pissed off at 10,
Mhm.
all right, don't let that spill over into the next block.
Mhm.
Try and resolve it or deal with it.
Or sit on it.
Mhm.
But by the time 1 o'clock comes in that next block,
Yeah.
why are you bringing what happened at 10 a.m. over here? Especially, it has nothing to do with that.
That's what I
Mhm.
was gonna say. One thing has nothing to do with the other.
The other.
The other. So, you know, I saw that a couple of weeks ago. I was even on a meeting. We had a meeting, a team meeting of the three of us about the podcast a few weeks back, and I was having a really bad day. But y'all wouldn't have known. I'm purposefully, what happened had nothing to do with what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, now I didn't have the words, but when I saw the post, I'm like, that is brilliant. That is exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep doing it because it has nothing to do with the other thing. That's how you be
Yeah.
fucking up your life, man.
The
Yeah.
only thing I can add to what you said was when you said you don't know if it's a glimmer or an gratitude. If the gratitude is bringing you joy or if it's giving you happiness at that moment, I would consider it a glimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I would agree
necessarily
with
say that
that.
it's gratitude. Any
Yeah.
moment in time, even if you are feeling thankful about something,
Mhm.
it's bringing joy to you, you're reminiscing on it. I would think it's a glimmer.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I think they correlate, quite honestly. When you have a moment of gratitude and you're grateful for something,
Mm-hmm.
like Joe said, it does bring you joy, and that is to me a glimmer. Like you're happy you had hot water. You're
Yeah.
happy you can go downstairs and do your laundry. You're happy to have those quiet moments when you need them. So those, yeah, I agree 100% with Joe on a glimmer piece. You started to touch on how people get so stuck in the trigger,
Mm-hmm.
um, that because that's the norm for them. And it's very true. So what would be your way to not do that?
I've gotten better at not letting it linger all day. So when I'm feeling some type of way out, unfortunately, it's TikTok. I go look at one or two reels that's going to make you crack up regardless. And it takes me away from that moment and it redirects me
Yeah.
or it redirects my feelings. So I've gotten a lot better at doing it because at one point, if I didn't have my coffee yet and something triggered me off, I'd be all day, all
Yeah.
day. And now I can't do that. I don't want to waste time, as Kira said, being angry all day. So I've just found other ways to redirect my feelings.
Yeah. I think people find it, they are scared of peace. They don't know how to operate in peace. They're used to operating in struggle, survival, and when that peace comes, it's like, it's just strange. It's a stranger.
You know what's interesting? You're absolutely right, and I can speak from experience. So for me, when everything, this is historically, because I think I've learned to not be this way anymore. But historically, for me, when everything was calm and going well, I get suspicious. I'm being honest, and
no, I understand.
Survival mode, living in survival mode, living in, I was conditioned to feel that way because in the past, some shit would always go down. I could be doing great. I just got a promotion. I'm feeling good. The house is in order. All of a sudden, my fucking car start coughing. You know what I'm saying? Something but this is always like,
no, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? Or some shit happened, somebody died, it's all those things. So I've learned, because we're operating, what's going to happen? Everything's going, it really fucks with your nervous system. And that's where the anxiety comes in.
Yeah.
Like, even though when I was younger, I had a way to suppress some of the anxiety. Like, nah, I'm good. And just forge ahead. That's because I guess my goals were bigger than my anxiety. That was it. But I'm just being vulnerable here.
Yeah,
right?
no, I love it.
They were a little bit bigger. So I didn't even, I'm not saying I didn't have anxiety. I'm saying that I got to get here. I ain't got time for that.
Right.
And so I would suppress. And then, when menopause happened, shit, things happened. I don't know, maybe I lost, for a very short time, I lost the ability to control that. Now I think I'm better now. But when you were used to something always happening, when things are calm, you're like, this something ain't right.
Yeah.
We're conditioned to that.
Do you think, because I know, like, having that kind of thought of this can't be going right all the time. Something's going to happen. Like, sometimes I think that's cyclical. Sometimes I think, things are going great and then things go bad and then things go great again. But I also wonder, because my thing is, I realize when things are good, and things are bad. So realizing that, I always have like a backup plan for when things are good. Like, I'm always, like, if I'm doing something, for example, if I have a plan and I know everything is laid out.
Okay.
But should something, I'm like thinking, okay, if this doesn't work, then I'm going to do, I already have a backup plan in mind so I can pivot easily. I don't want to pivot in the moment, basically.
Me too. I
do
believe
you think that's a part of that? Do you think that kind of comes into play in the trigger, survival, all that stuff?
Yeah,
absolutely. And it comes from childhood.
Yeah.
For me, I could speak for me. It comes from when someone said they was going to do something and they didn't, right? Or maybe just a trauma, something traumatic happened. So for me, I put on the guard of, oh no, I gotta make sure I'm prepared.
Prepared all the time.
And that's from you talking about a 6 and 7, 8-year-old. You learn, like, I gotta be prepared.
Yep.
Because some shit could go down. So it comes from that trauma, and you just carry it on with you. So yeah, I've always have the plan here, plan B. I never want to be caught with, egg on my face, that saying in corporate America, right? Right. I just never want to, I don't want to get got. So you just you figure out ways. So I always have. I've never been one to say, I got plan A and that's it. It got this way, gotta work. Because I know and experience has told me many times, it may not be that way. You might have to pivot. So you got to be agile and be ready to do it.
They say the best laid plans or God plans, you plan and God laughs. Right. All those different.
Place all your eggs in one basket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never. Yeah. I've learned that the hard way. So now I always have a contingency plan. And I guess that's why I'm always thinking I'm still in survival mode.
Yeah.
Even though things is going okay. And I made sure the last few issues that I had in the past, I always make sure now there's always a contingency plan, and I have some type of basket or what's the word I'm looking
Safety
for?
net.
Yes, to lean on. So
yeah. So it's I asked you the question. I mean, I had a question here, and you kind of answered it when you was talking about Key, how you just never thought things like when things was going right, you anticipate something going wrong. So I'll just ask the question to the audience, to our viewers: do you trust peaceful moments, or are you always waiting for something to go wrong? So viewers, tap in, let us know.
yes.
I think this is a perfect time to introduce another segment.
Woo, let's go.
So we're gonna call this, and look, guys, we may switch this up next week. Don't worry about it. We can do what we want. Would you rather? All right. So pick your struggle. Would you rather talk it out or sit with it first?
I need to sit with it first. That's always been. I need to process before I can talk about it.
Same. Yeah, I have to sit with it because I need to think about all the different ways. Because if I talk it out in the moment, I'll walk away and realize there's something I should have done, said, and didn't do differently in that moment. So I don't want to have that feeling of a shoulda, did, or say. So I need to sit with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm like, you ever seen that meme with that little boy talk about, I gotta see. I gotta sit. He's so cute. He's like, I gotta see. Yeah, I gotta sit with it first. I gotta see all angles.
Yes.
And because the way my mind, whoever I'm gonna eventually talk it out with, I gotta play in my mind how they think, so I can figure out. I gotta see.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So viewers, what you think? Do y'all don't listen to us all the time? Y'all can have your own opinion. All right. Do you want to talk it out, or do you need to sit with it first? Let us know in the comments.
I mean, at the end of the day, we encourage your opinions. We're opinionated. We want to hear yours. So
yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So one of the other things you talked about was music, the sunset, the sunrise. So like glimmers can be practiced as can become a daily practice if we acknowledge them and work on them, right? So some can be as intentional as listening to music. You got to retrain your nervous system, so to speak. And Kira, looks like you've done that. Peace doesn't mean nothing is wrong. It means nothing. It doesn't mean that you're not regulated. So it means you're regulated. So it doesn't mean nothing's wrong, but it means you're regulated. You're acknowledging when something's wrong, but you're also acknowledging what's going good. So what do you guys think about how we need to be more intentional in focusing on those glimmers versus the chaos that we see day in and day out? That seems big, chaos appears to be bigger and louder than glimmers, but it's because we're focused on it more.
That's you hit it on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You hit it right on the head, because half the time the things that we deem chaotic or problematic or whatever, sometimes it's things that we just didn't want to deal with. Yeah. So we kept, and it bubbled up.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Funny thought.
So there's sometimes that things that you didn't want to deal with, and then the bubble, shit bubbles up. It's when we focus on the negative, that's how you start moving in that way. Your body is moving that way. You may not notice it, but you're physically responding because of all that negativity. And y'all heard me say so many times on this podcast, where I don't want that. Even if you go on my social media, I don't want none of that negative shit. I will scroll right past.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes I do choose violence when I do on threads and I hear something, when somebody makes a post on, first of all, I love threads, but they make a post and it's like, God, you are the dumb as a doornail. So I know, right? Or you're so obtuse. It depends what kind of mood I'm in, For the most part, even when I respond, I still respond with some level of positivity. Now, my brain,
I will say that, yeah.
Yeah, in my brain, I'm like, dude, what the hell? But you respond light, love and light.
Right.
Because I just don't want the negativity.
Yeah.
I think you're miserable. Who wants to be that way?
Yeah. So I chuckle, Key, because when we talk about the song initially for your week, which wasn't my week, but it was a song that popped in my head, was I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yes.
So yes. I was like, it's just one of the songs. I have those moments too, right? But
every day. Every day.
And I try to have that mindset on a Monday to get through the rest of the week. I don't give a fuck.
Nah, you got to. And every day, and that's the thing though. Every day is a new day to just be
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You don't have to, like I say, you don't have to have the shit spill over. It's your choice.
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%.
That's my take. So I have a question. This might be in the same vein of your question, Jay.
Yeah.
How would you intentionally create more glimmers in your life?
I had that question too. So we're like, see you. Go ahead, Joe.
No, I
got an answer. Y'all ain't trying to get no
answer. I don't want to be over talking.
I mean, right now I created by going to the gym. That's been I like going swimming. Swimming relaxes me. So I try to do that at least 3-4 days out the week. I've incorporated now strength training into it because that was something that I missed. I found ways to deal with the knee pain and I just push through it when I'm at the gym. And then I know what to do when I get home to make sure I'm not in that much pain in the morning when I get up. And it's actually getting better. So
good.
Going to the gym has been my
getting them endorphins going. I love it.
That's what it is. What about you, Jay?
My thing is wake up every morning with gratitude. Make sure I do that. Like the other morning is like I know that I'm like rushing and I realize that I'm rushing. So I'll step back and don't forget to have my moment of gratitude because that's the thing that sets my day. So it's having that moment of gratitude. So I don't necessarily jump out of bed, but I'll lay there for a few minutes, have my moment of gratitude. But then there are times that I do have to jump out of bed because my eyes overslept a little bit. But I know that if I don't take that pause, then the rest of my day is not going to be good. So it's, that's my intentional moment of glimmer to give myself that peace of mind for my day, to set my day.
I'm already doing that because I'm just thankful I woke up.
Yeah. But people do that, but they don't actively do it, right? They don't sit there in a moment and say, thank you, whoever they're thanking to their higher power, to actually physically say thank you for whatever. It can be putting breath in your chest that morning. It could be making sure your family is safe and you can feel like you was able to sleep the night before with peace. It's like whatever thing that you want to be thankful in that moment. People don't actively like say it out loud. So I intentionally say it out so I can hear myself say it, and it makes me feel better than just saying it in my head or telling somebody I said it, or it's different. It's a different feeling for me.
Okay. And that's where I would like to go with it. I don't talk out loud. What I do is I don't get up right away. I'm thinking all this in my head. But to actually say it out loud and hear it, that's something I would like to get more into. So I understand where you're going with that.
Yeah.
So there's another thing that is very helpful. I've been reading this book. Now, I've been reading this book for 3 years only because I keep stop. I have a problem. In that time, I've read about 15, 20 books, but that's neither here or there. But now I'm back on it.
Okay.
called The Artist's Way. And in the beginning, what the author talks about is writing down, again, it's a form of journaling, to so speak, in the morning, but she's taking a different spin, whereas nothing's prompted, it's just data dumping. Anything that comes to your head, it doesn't matter. You don't have to spruce it up. It's not performative. You're not, who's reading it but you? So it could be anything. You could wake up and be like, you know what? I had this dream, the cops are chasing me and whatever, that was a real entry. But you can start writing whatever you want. And what I found was, and what she speaks of, and it is true, similar to journaling, but when you do a data dump like that, it gets everything out and it clears your mind for other things. You don't realize how much you're storing in your head. He instructs to write 3 pages of just whatever comes to your mind. And when you get that out, because I've done this as a practice, it really opens your brain up. You have space to think. Be strategic. You have space to tackle a problem that maybe you didn't want to tackle because it was too much, right? And then all of a sudden it gives you perspective. We got too much bullshit in our brain. So I just putting it out there. It's very helpful. It's
interesting you say that, because at my 9 to 5, they have these tools at work for you to do, right? Different type of emotional intelligence, mental, physical, whatever tools. So I did something exactly that this week, which lent itself to how I was feeling throughout the week. So that's another intentional and quote unquote glimmer that I take the time out of my day to leverage those tools and be more intentional about it. Because I do it every year. I'll set myself up, make an action plan, But this year, I was like, I'm going to be more intentional. Listen, it's free. It's given. Well, not free. You pay for it through your freaking compensation. But anyways, at the end of the day,
but you're utilizing it,
tools that they're giving you. So I did exactly that this week. So it's funny that you bring that up. But I'm definitely gonna look into the book as well. So cool. Thanks for sharing.
Of course. Do you think you notice your triggers faster than your glimmers?
Yeah, I've noticed it more. I do.
Yeah. Being honest, for sure.
That's why I've been trying to find more ways because I don't want to sit in it all day. I'm realizing that is, which is actually, I'm going to try that. But as I said, anytime I'm starting to feel some type of way, I surf for a few minutes to find something to make me laugh. Because laughter or listening to some music will bring me back down instantly. So.
Yeah. Nope, I agree. I mean, and that's because, again, it goes back to being conditioned, right? So we probably were conditioned in this way, not really having a definition or terminology of glimmer, not knowing it, that you had these things all your life and didn't know what it meant, or even knowing when to acknowledge them. So yeah, historically, absolutely notice triggers. Go forward, gotta catch those glimmers when they're there. Because they I mean, I know I've caught some in the past, but I didn't have the language to go with it and know what it was. But definitely, if I had to put it on a scale, the triggers would be here and the glimmers would be here. And I'm gonna change that.
I guess 2 things that came to mind is listening to you guys respond. The first thing that comes to mind is when Jay, you mentioned that a lot of times we didn't have the terminology to acknowledge, even trigger. I think back in the day with my grandmother saying, my nerves is bad. That was her triggers. She was triggered. Somebody done triggered her ass. You know what I mean? But she said my nerves is bad. So we now have the terminology. I challenge everyone, all of us on this podcast, as well as our viewers, when you are triggered by something, to immediately think of something that brings you joy.
Yeah.
To immediately think of something that you can be appreciative of.
Absolutely.
And that may be hard, because you might forget because you're so used to like, you know, but just try to unlock, you know what, I'm angry at this. Let me sit this here. I'll deal with it. What makes me happy? Yeah. And it may shift how you attack that problem. That's just saying.
I'm gonna share something. So I was with my friend, and he noticed that I was upset about something. So he gave me a thing to do. He said, anytime that I'm not with you, I notice when I kiss your forehead, you bring it down. So he said, anytime I'm feeling some type of way, just close my eyes and envision him kissing my forehead to bring me down. So I thought that was cute. Sometimes it works, but sometimes it don't.
I was going to ask you, did you try it?
I have tried it. A few times it has worked. But other times, as I said, I go straight to just surfing for a few minutes because I'm going to always see something within the first 10, 15 seconds that's going to have me in here cracking up. So I get into my modes of sending you guys something through either Instagram or TikTok. TikTok is notorious.
Yeah. Goes on your algorithm, right? What you search for is what's going to show up. So,
do we want to move forward with our last segment?
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
You want me to go for it, Jen?
Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right. So, I want to pause for a second because I think a lot of us, we don't stop to reflect on who we used to be versus who we are now.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So let's do a little then and now. Yeah. So I have a question for you guys. What used to set you off that doesn't anymore? I can, if y'all want to think about something, I got one straight off the dome.
Go on.
Go ahead.
Road rage.
I never had it, so.
Nah, when I was in my 20s, it was bad. But it's, you know, by the time, it was a short-lived thing. It was probably, you know, 2-3 years of it. And then I realized, I literally just like, this is stupid. And I never had, and that's the thing, once I realized that's dumb, you were being dumb. And then I'm over it. Yeah. It's never gonna happen again. Now, this doesn't mean that if somebody does something right now and I see it, I'm like, you're a jackass. But I'm saying that, but I don't act. I just be like, dude, you know what? I got better. I'm thinking of all the positive things going on for me. And that's what helps me from knocking somebody in the head. Just saying.
I have to agree with her, with Kira. It's the road rage. It's gotten a lot better. I don't get out my car anymore, and I'm not chasing you down anymore, because I will chase you down and cut you off just to prove a point. I don't do that anymore. So that has gotten better. I'm in the car, I may curse you out, or most of the time I'm just saying something under my breath or out loud. You guys witnessed this, but you've never witnessed me actually chase somebody down and cut them off, or chase them to a light and get out my car and bang on your window like, what the fuck is wrong with you type shit.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I'm glad I didn't, because I would have left you your ass right the fuck there. And I would have caught an Uber. Right? What the fuck? What are we doing?
That was in my 20s and 30s. I don't do that anymore. But it was bad at one point in time.
Mine would be not caring what people think. I used to care a lot about what people thought. Mm-hmm. I used to do things or go places and all that stuff because somebody else wanted me to. And now I don't care. Think what you want to think, say what you want to say. I don't give two sugar honey iced teas. Shit.
I love that.
Sugar honey iced tea. I like that.
So now I got one more question. So based on, I already gave you the answers. I gave you my answer to this question, right? When I answered. But because of the things that set you up that no longer set you up, what do you think has changed? Why did you shift? Why do you have this different perspective? So
On
Jay,
Because I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No.
okay, perfect. So why did you deal with the road rage?
My kids witnessed it, and it was to the point that they got out the car trying to calm me down because I was trying to pull the guy out his window. So
Child.
that right there made me realize I need to chill. Because she was crying, she was worried because the police department was right around the corner, and she was worried about me getting arrested.
Mm,
So
cool.
yeah, I cherish my freedom. I don't look good in orange too well, so yeah.
Not that kind of orange, anyways.
Exactly.
I pose this question to the viewers as well. What used to set you off that doesn't anymore, and what do you think changed?
Yeah. And I will also add, what's one glimmer you've experienced this week that you usually overlook?
Mhm.
So let's comment your glimmer below. Let's normalize peace, people out there.
Yes.
Please share this episode with someone who lives in survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
And subscribe, turn on your notifications so you don't miss our next conversation.
All right. Till next time.
Next time.
Yes. Peace out.